Step into the vibe, oh yeah. Feel the rhythm rise high. We're living life, let's fly. Off tap life. Sky's the limit, no shy. Off tap life.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel, and this is a easy video to make because it is one of those type of videos where the answer is pretty simple, but if you've never been in a civil war before, you may not actually know the truth about civil wars. Now look, Age of Origins is a super fun game and I love it. I enjoy it so much, right? But there's positives and there's negatives to the game, and some of them are that sometimes, just like in real life, people can't get along. And when these instances arise, which always for some reason, I don't know why, always seems to be the two strongest people in the nation who can't get along. I don't know what it is. People's egos, people's freaking power trips that they're on, I don't know, but unfortunately it happens, right? Now, here's the thing, guys. I am not going to tell you anything except my opinion, all right? It's just my opinion, and just let it entertain you. If you don't agree with it, just, agree to disagree or laugh at it or whatever you want to do. But it's just my opinion because I've been in a few civil wars, okay? And I've seen the pros, I've seen the cons, and unfortunately the cons outweigh the pros. Now, here's the thing. Obviously, when you have a civil war, you're doing a lot of destruction. You're damaging your nation. This is the truth. You are actually damaging your nation. Some people would argue and say, oh, we have a high nation BP, our nation's battle power, our alliance powers, our total combined power of the nation is too high. If we have the civil war, we can lower it. Look, I'm going to tell you the truth, and this is the truth. According to me, and it's my opinion, but I think a lot of people would agree with me that you don't need a civil war to lower your battle power of your nation. You don't need a civil war. What you need is just good leadership. You really do. Because if you have to go to the extreme to have a civil war to get the results from the people of your nation, you've got a problem already. If you're a leader, of good valor, if you're respected, if you've got a, just kind of someone who is loved because you're a great person, you've got great energy or whatever the case is, but you should be able to get people to want to help you achieve the goals that you think are best for your nation as the R6 of your nation. Usually the strongest of the nation tends to end up taking that mantle place as the R6 of the nation, the kind of the leader of the nation. And here's the thing, if you're someone who is actually doing the right things, you're respecting others, you're showing them love, you're using your knowledge to help others grow, you're doing everything in your power to help your nation actually achieve its ultimate goal, which should be to fight other nations and cross-nation events. You want to build up your nation's strength and fight in cross-nation events. You want to fight other nations. You do not want to build up your strength just to destroy your own nation. That is not the goal or the objective of any nation in the game. That is not what you're supposed to be doing. Your goal should be to build up your nation together, to unite, to fight together, to come together, all the strongest, get in that top alliance, and you guys join together to fight other nations in events and hopefully grab the W. Get some freaking wins under your belts, That's what you're supposed to be doing. That is your objective, right? Now, in order to make sure that your nation's battle power isn't inflated, you don't need to destroy each other to lower it. What you need to do is you need to, as a leader, talk to your people and say, hey guys, look, we need to lower our battle power. Let's see what we can do to achieve that goal without you having to go and run crazy and kill off your whole nation. Because here's the problem. Sure, you might be able to lower your battle power, but you're lowering it in a very bad way because you're also losing people in the process. Because whenever there's a civil war, and I've been in a few, I've seen it happen time and time and time again. You start losing players, and you start losing the players that you don't want to lose. Yeah, sure, you might get rid of some of the farmers along the way, right? But then you start losing your star quarterback. You start losing some of those players that you're like, oh gosh, that's going to hurt a bit. And you don't want to lose those players. They are the bread and butter of your nation. You are blessed whenever you have strong players, whenever you have players that are willing to participate, who are willing to contribute, whenever you have players who aren't afraid to go ahead and drop a couple dollars here and there to help strengthen their city. Whenever you have players that are in your top 100 officer power, top 100 warplanes, top 100, just the things that really matter, right? The top 100 players, kills. You're looking at things like reputation. You're seeing people who actually participate. You're looking at just attendance. You can go to the back of your alliance management. You can see all the events that matter. You can see them there, and you can see who's been participating and who hasn't. These are important things, though. When you start losing those people, all you end up with is a nation that is now broken. And you can say, oh, great, we'll just keep on fighting. Like, guys, sure, I'll be the first to tell you, Civil War is fun for the first 3 days. The first few days, it's fun. And then it becomes annoying because now all the little bit of time and effort and money that you might have invested into your city to get it to grow, you're now having to buy shields to protect your cities. You're now having to take that money and put it in shield protection. You're now having to go away, living your life, doing other things, going to work, going to freaking whatever else you're going to do in your life, and stressing because, oh my gosh, did I forget to shield or not? And when you come back and your city is on fire, and you've just realized that all the time you've spent finally achieving the ultimate goal, which is, I have 6 fleet worth of troops. Now, you don't necessarily need 6 fleets, but they're nice to have when you are playing GC, for example. You got 5 fleets. 5 fleets technically is all you really need, but if you got 6 fleets, you've got 6 fleets in case something goes wrong. You got the hospital full, you got some extra troops to fall back on, but global conquest, having those 5 fleets where you can actually go into all the towers and occupy them with 5 different fleets and different, like it's an advantage. It's something that is kind of really important. Global conquest, I would say 5 fleets definitely is a nice thing to have. And also, I would say in EW, if you're someone, why waste your heals if you don't have to? If you've got the troops in events like EW, it's an advantage to have the extra troops, right? Some would argue even in Frenzy, right? If you've got extra troops, you don't have to worry about healing all of them, and you can actually have some extra ones to fight with, and hopefully grab the W, you know what I mean? So there's advantages and disadvantages to Civil War, but the advantages are far few compared to the disadvantages. Because look, let me tell you something, especially these days in Age of Origins, you are lucky if you're getting a merge. Merges aren't happening at all in recent times, and everyone doesn't get one when they do happen. So the people you have in your nation are important, and the farmers of today may be the warriors of tomorrow. I have seen it. I've seen players who never, really seemed to be the fighter type. They just kind of kept to themselves. They were just farming along, and next thing you know, they're freaking C39, and they have freaking high officer power. They're freaking really participating, and they just need to get that bug, that little itch, right? And that happens again through good leadership. Good leadership knows how to help to motivate the nation and to encourage them and to steer them in the right direction and all those kind of cool things. If you don't have that, you already got problems. And as a last resort, then people go, oh, well, we're going to have to do civil war to fix our differences or to get rid of our battle power or whatever it is. If you've got differences, talk it over. Be an adult and actually put your freaking whatever it is aside, your ego, pride, whatever, and just come humbly and talk. At the end of the day, guys, this is a game. And the other thing that sucks is Civil War really taints the game, the energy of the game, the soul of the game. It takes away from it. Players who really enjoy the game and want to play the game and don't want to quit, especially people who have invested so much time, energy, money, whatever it is into the game, the last thing they want to do is see that investment just go up in smoke because two freaking people couldn't get along and now the whole nation's paying for it. It is a horrible thing. It's kind of selfish, guys. It really is. When you have decided to take it upon yourself to just go and just completely, repeatedly zero people for no reason except to be an a-hole. Let's be real. A lot of times in these, I'm experiencing it, guys. I've seen the Civil War that we're in, and people are getting zeroed by the person who started the war. I'm not going to say any names. If you know, you know. I'm not going to say the nation. I'm not going to say any names because I'm not here to put anyone on fire. I'm just telling from my experience, my opinion. But here's the situation. You zero someone, they lose all their troops. So now they're starting from zero. Now they're no good to anyone. Okay, now they can't even participate in events. Their hospital is full for 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, however long it is. Their hospital is full. They've lost how many troops? So they barely can put together a single fleet of troops for however long until they get the ones out of the hospital. That's if they have the heals. And then the heals are not cheap and they take time to acquire if you're not paying for them, especially if you're a free-to-play player, which there's tons of free-to-play players. Not everyone is spending. And those who do spend, not every one of those people spend a lot. They might spend only a couple dollars here and there. So at the end of the day, you've got some great players in that pool. You know, there's some really good players that are awesome and they don't spend $1 million, but they're committed and they put in the hard work and they spend a lot of time to grow their city and to be able to participate in the events. So you lose all that, right? You lose that goodwill with the people as well. And what happens is when you just keep repeatedly zeroing people just because you don't like them, you disagree with them, there's something about them, whatever the reason is that you decided that you're just going to continuously target an entire alliance or an entire nation, and you're going to keep on just zeroing them just for the hell of it because you can. And when you are a freaking 40, a C41, when you are the strongest person with like 2K almost officer power, or you know, you're obviously the strongest person. I mean, sorry, not 2K officer. I meant 2 freaking K LRA, you know, long range attack, whatever. You're like over in the 2K range, and you've got freaking, you know, 15K, 18K officer power. Sorry, am I saying K? I meant millions. Okay, but you guys know what I'm talking about. But when you've got freaking 18 million officer power, whatever it is, you got some crazy amount of Titan power, you know, and all this stuff, and you're obviously the strongest person in the nation, and it takes 30, 40 people to even attempt to try to take you down. And in most cases, it doesn't work because, again, if you can afford to be the strongest person in the nation before everyone else has even reached anywhere near that, obviously you can afford to keep on just rebuilding your troops, buying new troops, buying whatever you need. You've got the money to do so. You are just basically a terrorist. That's what you are. You're an in-game terrorist. You're just, they're a bully. You're a big freaking bully. You know, that's what you are. You sit there and you intentionally keep on just hitting the same people. They don't even have anything to even kill anymore. There's times that a certain person is literally hitting empty targets. There's nothing there, just to be an a-hole. And it's like, dude, like, there's people who've quit the game because of this whole situation. People have left. People have reached a breaking point. People have been pushed to a place where they never thought they could be pushed. And there's this ugliness that comes with Civil War. And we're looking, the crazy thing, guys, is it's not only the loss of troops or time or investment, people quitting the game, people walking away, people who are staying, attempting to still play, but, you know, they're like quickly losing their motivation to do so. And it's just this constant thing. And it's like, civil war going on for over freaking half a year, going on for over a year. There's nations that civil war has been going on for 2, 3, 4 years. It's insane. And there's no W in that, because it's not the objective of the game. Yes, the game allows you to have civil war. It's part of the gameplay. The game allows you to do it, but it's not what the game was actually created for. It's not the whole goal, the objective. As I said before, work together, unite, work together, build your nation's strength, and then go fight other nations together. That's what you're supposed to be doing. And, the friends I've lost in so many different nations now. I've been in all over the place. I somehow managed to find the nations that are like, let's have civil war. I'm lucky like that, I guess, Luckily, one of the new nations that I've now found is peaceful. They've got great leadership. They're absolutely incredible. And they've got it all figured out. And that's why they're one of the top 3 nations in the globe. And they're awesome. And they're incredible. And that's how it's supposed to be. And it's sad, right? Because you spend all this time, you spend all this money, you spend all this effort building your city up just to watch it burn up, literally burn up right before your eyes. And all the time, regularly, just being burnt, just because someone decided they don't like you. And someone, and that's the other thing. I'm going to make a separate video on this topic, because bullying is a real thing in the game. It's one of the real negatives of Age of Origin. It's probably the main one, is that you will meet some really ugly people who will say some horrible and despicable and disgusting things to you and about your family and about your mom, and they have no boundaries and they don't care, and it's absolutely foul and disgusting. And the things that I've seen some people say to people in the nation's chat, and even towards me, I've had some experiences of my own where it's just a horrible place, right? Civil war, stay out of nation chat, because I don't know how many civil wars have started because of nation chat and because of just the ugliness, the horribleness. Like, people can't get along in a game. It's just a game. And people forget that games are supposed to be fun. And the game loses its fun factor when you're being constantly bullied by, again, an impossible force that you're not going to beat the C-41 on your own whatsoever. You can't. They come and attack you. They think they're so cool. I really, literally, congratulations. Hey, you just burnt a bunch of C-30s and C-34s and C-32s, and you burnt some farms and all this stuff. Congratulations. Way to go with your power. You're sitting there burning flags all day. Congratulations. You are awesome. Well done. Way to invest your money to sit there and just completely destroy the game for everybody else. And that's what happens in Civil War. You are subject to, this person who has decided that, well, I'll just burn the nation down. And hey, again, Civil War, fun for a little bit, in moderation, right? Like I said, 2-3 days, hey, we all enjoying it a bit. Let's let our hair down. Let's burn a few people. Let's do it. It's okay. We can have a little fun for a little bit. But when it continuously goes on and on and on and on, it's no longer fun. It's literally no longer fun. My advice to you, the truth about Civil War, as this video is titled, again, my opinion, is if you end up in a nation where there's Civil War, I highly suggest that if there doesn't seem to be an end in sight, if there doesn't seem to be a way that this is ever going to reconcile, because one or more of the people who are the ones kind of narrating the war, that started it, that instigated, that are fueling it, that are putting more fuel in the fire, if it seems like there's no way they're going to ever come and do the right thing by your nation, and they're going to cease all the BS and say, hey guys, let's work together, let's come together, we can do this as a nation, let's let's put our differences aside and let's just do what's best for the nation, right? Let's get on track. Let's come together and let's build this nation up and let's start winning some events together, man. Let's go out there and let's kick some huge butt for our nation. Let's represent our nation in the best light possible, right? If there's no chance of that happening, if you know it's not going to happen, if you can see it's not happening, and you've already have suffered tons and tons of BS from it, losses, of time, freaking money, whatever the case is, whatever it is, whatever your story is, count your losses and get out of there. It might not be something you want to hear. It might suck because you might have already dropped tons of time, money, blood, sweat, tears into that nation. But I promise you, you're going to continue to drop and waste even more by staying there. You're on a dead-end course. Especially, there's a pattern to it. In one particular nation, again, I'm not saying any names, I'm not saying anything, but in this particular nation, the same persons, but particularly one in particular, has always somehow managed to be the person who has been behind all the wars starting. Every single one. All the civil wars. And many people have left the game, again, because of said person and all the freaking BS civil wars. And what really sucks? This particular nation had all the potential in the world, was blessed. It was a blessed nation with so many amazing players. We had like a bunch of wells, not one, not two, not three, not four, but at one point when we first started, we had like 5 wells in this particular nation. And it was an incredible just blessing to be like, wow, holy crap, like, we've got a lot of talent here, you know what I mean? And then there were so many really good players, like talented people who've been playing in other nations, just happened to pop up in this nation. And there was so much just talent, so many great people. The energy was like, we can achieve anything in this particular nation. And in this particular nation, we did. The first, event GC we had, we won. We were freaking like showing the globe that, hey, we're a force to be reckoned with. Unfortunately, now this particular nation is a laughing stock. It's a joke. It's just ridiculous. And there's just so much absolute freaking sadness attached to that, because we had all the potential in the world, and in just a poof of smoke, it was all gone. And we lost so many great players because of it. And we lost so many great people because of it. And it's sad. And, it's the reflection of real life, isn't it? Look at this world we live in, man. There's people with these crazy, just can't get along, stupid wars that don't even need to exist, but they happen. And it's like, come on, just stop it, guys. Like, we're on the same rock, man. We're stuck here together. Let's make it work. Let's figure it out. Let's put our differences aside. And, let's just, come on, let's just do this thing, man. And if people, look, in real life, people make mistakes. Unfortunate situations happen. Let go of the grudges. Let go of the negativity, man. Let go of freaking, there's people holding on to these negative, ugly grudges and hatred, deep hatred, from the beginning of the nation, the start of the nation. And that's why they're fighting still, because they can't let go of how they feel about a particular alliance or particular persons or person. And it's just like, we're going to keep on and keep on. Hatred. Like, stop it. At some point, you look at this and you go, this is past Civil War. This is past anything acceptable. This has become bullying. This has strictly become hatred, bullying, discrimination. It's become some horrible, ugly thing. And it taints the game. It really does. It puts it off. New people come to the game. There's people who this was their first nation. And so whatever nation you're in, it could be somebody's first nation. They come in for the first time. They could be someone who ended up lifers. They could have been someone who ended up playing the game for 4 years or 5 years. And they end up in a civil war situation. They can't grow. They can't do anything. They can't enjoy the game. They can't learn the game properly. They don't have any good leadership. So what happens is they quit the game and another potential warrior is gone, right? And I've seen it happen so many times. It's just really sad, man. Like the amount of people who quit the game and gave me their city, I've had it happen in every nation. There's people who just like, hey, I don't want to play anymore. Do you want my city? It happens all the time. And it's horrible and it's sad. And it's like, wow, and it happens. It happens. People leave the game. The worst ones is when people don't even give the city away. Oh my gosh, we've had people leave the game over the BS. We've had in one of my nations a C-41. A C-41. Yeah, a whale. Freaking, now you see me, now you don't. They were there one moment and suddenly they were gone. Their city sits abandoned in the nation. And look, I'm going to say this. If you're going to leave the game, okay, don't let your city go to waste completely. Like, let someone else attempt to get some benefit out of it. You know what I mean? Don't just let it sit there. That's probably one of the worst things you can do, because it could be used to someone else instead of just sitting there. It's, let someone else get some benefit from it, because there's some really good players who can't afford to spend that kind of dough, that can't afford to build a C-41 or C-34 for that matter, even there's people who can't do it. It takes them forever for whatever reason. It might not even be because they're a free-to-play player, but it's just that maybe they don't have the time to invest every single day, hours and hours and hours. Like, and that's the other thing. You got to be understanding to the people in your nation. You got to understand that everyone lives in different time zones. Everyone has different cultures. Everyone has different commitments. Everyone has different things that are priorities to them. Some people have families. Some people have kids. Some people are retired. Some people work. Some people are sleeping when you are awake. Some people are absolutely just in love with the game and they play as much as they can when they can. And some people, they have the time to commit and play all day, all night. Everyone's different. Be understanding. Be patient. Absolutely take the time, if you're a leader of your nation, to find out what you can about all the people there, that you can accommodate them and to help them feel like they are wanted, that they belong, and that they matter. Listen to everyone's voices. Don't ignore the people, the small people in the back. Their voice matters too. Let them be heard. Give them an opportunity to let their voice matter. Listen to them. Find a way to turn those farmers into fighters. Find a way to find those people who aren't participating. Find out why they're not participating in events. Maybe there's a good reason. Maybe they don't know how to play the event. Maybe you haven't done a great enough job to teach them the events, to show them how to play the events, the ins and outs of it. Maybe they don't know. I've come across that. I actually literally, matter of fact, recently someone said, how do you play this? In one of the nations I'm in, how do you play? What's the whole thing behind this? They didn't know how to even play it. Now, their timing was wrong. It's during the event, it's not really the best time to be discussing said matters because, the event's going on. But again, leaders, we have to do a better job. We, as leaders, have to make sure that we are giving every player, the C10 to the C41 and everyone in between, what they need to grow, to flourish, to be putting their best foot forward for the nation, united together. Everyone matters. Again, you don't know that farmer if they're going to stay a farmer. They might actually have potential if you give them the tools necessary to feel like they can do so. And a lot of people just never was given that opportunity, and they never was given that guidance properly. It happens. Now, some people are really farmers. I'm going to say that. There are some people, they are farmers. They just like farming. I personally don't see the fun. I suck in the gathering event too. I don't even know how some of these people freaking smash gathering. The gathering phase, we got Strongest Commander event right now. Gathering has happened, and there's people who have gathered. I'm like, how did you do it? Dude, I even started a few hours before the freaking event even started, and I can't get to where you got. And I'm like, dude, they must be freaking. They have to have a level 55. Fat Medici, level 55, and a Doc, level 55, or freaking Jesse. Somebody is level 55, freaking 6-star, freaking. All the skills are freaking level 20, the base skills, and triple S gathering. I don't even know. I ain't freaking getting my freaking directors to no 6 stars, man. Never in a million years. I know, maybe that's what they're doing. I have no idea. I just can't. I can't. I hate that event. Tell me, guys, do you hate gathering? I'll make another video talking about how much I hate the gathering event. The gathering phase, we could surely come up with something better than the gathering. Can't we come up with something better than that day? Just sitting there gathering all day. I'm sure we could come up with something else. Anything else. Anything else. I absolutely hate the gathering. Oh my gosh, I hate gathering. It's kind of funny because I've had to build a lot of farms in all my nations, because if you're someone who can't afford to go and spend $1 zillion on your resources, like a lot of people can, well, you're going to build your free farms because they're free, and you're going to take the time yourself, because your time is your time. It doesn't cost you anything to use your time, and you're going to go out there and you're going to do all your farming yourself so that you can get the resources you need to grow your city, because you can't afford to invest in resources. And you would rather spend that money that you would have to spend on resources somewhere else, right? That's what you would do if you're someone who spends money to play the game. Why waste money on resources if you don't have to? Build some farms up, save some money, and do it that way, right? That's what people do. Anyways, the farmers, man, there's some people who are actually, I do know some people who are straight up farmers, and they are annoying. And yes, sometimes you do feel like you want to burn them. I'm guilty of this. I will admit it. I have had a particular person, if you know, you know. Some people are from that particular nation know what I'm talking about. And I freaking was guilty of freaking breaking nation rules even. And I'm guilty of, I have done it. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Hey, I'm not perfect. I've let my emotions get the best of me. And I have burnt a farmer or two in my lifetime. I broke nation rules to do it because it was in the top alliance, and I was like, this farmer freaking. How are you going to be? The nation is over freaking 2-3 years old, and how you only have 120 LRA? What's going on? I mean, you're a farmer, dude. You're a real farmer. You can't even get your LRA. I mean, even if you're a free-to-play player, dude, how can you not get it? Anyways, especially equipment, officer equipment being released, and you get free equipment alloy in so many different things. If you're doing your ruin runs and stuff, you get some there. I mean, you can get some really good equipment, officer equipment parts over in your zombie uprise event. You get some good ones there. You get the essence stone there, right? Like, I mean, you can get some really good stuff if you are participating regularly in all the events. Right now, here's a good example. If you're doing marbles right now, they've got the marble game. What's it called? The something marble, or the dragon marble. I don't know. It's something marble, but it's the marble game where you can get the dragon skin, right? And if you're playing that game right now, and if you do the daily quest every day, it doesn't cost you any money. If you do them, you only really need to probably do it 2 days worth even. And you can get the first reward. And that first reward that you get, you're going to get actual officer equipment. You're going to get gold. You get some other stuff too. I forget exactly what's all in it, but you get that just from participating in free things. You can get this stuff, right? And a lot of events are like that. Just for participating, you can get things to help grow your city. And there's things you can do every day. I'm going to make a separate video on this, so I won't go too much in detail on that. I don't know how we got into this topic. But anyways, my point is that you just got to respect everyone in a game, and everyone plays at the pace that they play, and everyone is where they're at. And some people are there by choice, and some people are there because they just never got the guidance necessary to help to propel them any other place. So therefore you end up with farmers. That's why we got into that topic. So farmers. So, hey, to be fair, yes, I understand why you want to burn the farmers. Some people want to burn them. I understand it. But there's people who should never be burnt, right? Because they matter. Because if you risk losing those people that matter, and everyone matters, that being said, because again, you don't know if that one farmer might turn out to be something magical and great one day. It could become a butterfly and spread its wings and fly. Or not, if you burnt them. They would just become another person who's sour about the game and bad mouths it online and says negative things about it and will never play it again. And here's one other thing. Taking this into account. When you get a merge, especially when you're a nation who's been plagued with, again, lots of little wars, civil war, freaking a lot of burning, a lot of players lost and whatever, and you are lucky enough to get another opportunity and get a merge, especially when they don't come often, and you have that new fresh nation where you actually got some people who actually can add to the strength of your nation, how about show them some love? Because what happens is you burn them too, and now where are you? You've completely, again, you had a lifeline and you messed it up, and now your nation is just completely just bleh. You've lost more potential to actually achieve greatness. And that's sad. So if you are in a nation where you have that opportunity, you get a merge, figure out a way to get along. Figure out a way to put your differences aside, come together, and just stop the hate, guys. Like, it's not that serious. It's a game. And yes, we all have emotions. We all get a little bit crazy from time to time. We all do. Me too. Dude, I told you right now, I will burn somebody. Sometimes I'm not absolutely proud of these times that I've done such things, but we're not perfect. These things happen. And apologize and move on. You know, people need to apologize and move on and accept people's apologies. Stop holding grudges and just be like, fresh reboot. That's what a lot of nations just needs, a fresh reboot. Hey guys, let's put the sins of the past, the bygones, let it be bygones. Let's put all whatever's happened. Yes, you've burnt all the nation. You've destroyed everyone. But let's forgive and forget. Let's all come together now. Kumbaya. And let's figure out a way to fix this nation before we have nobody left. Let's see if we can savage this thing, because the thought of 3 more years of buying a bunch of shields to protect my city from being burnt, or hiding the few troops I have left, because I don't even have enough troops left to even freaking, there's probably farmers that could kill me now. That's what happens. You're in civil war, and next thing you know, you freaking are just like, hey, I thought I had more troops than that. I can't even put you go into the uranium mine with your freaking 600 BP, man. 600k BP. You're sitting there freaking like, man, there's people coming here with like 2 million BP. These, you know, they're like a freaking C30 just fresh out the oven. C30s coming and burning you. And you're sitting there like, I'm a C35. What's going on here, dude? I can't even put together a whole fleet to fight these guys off. What just happened? You like, where's all my strength gone? I've got 6-star officers. I've got this and that. I've got a purple plane and a purple Titan and all this stuff. You're like, I can't even freaking fight off freaking the C30s. I can't even freaking, you're sitting there, you're playing these events, right? You're doing your daily freaking funny thing is like you're doing something like freaking Doom or something, you know, you're doing all your daily things and you're like, dude, I can't even clear the freaking last thing now. Or I can't even, I'm ranked at the bottom. Everyone else is ahead of me. Like, you just have all these stories, these things happen. From Civil War, from my experience, I've experienced all of it, man. I've been through it all. It's like, it's kind of funny, but it's not, right? Because when you think about it, it's really sad. Because it's like, it's not justified. It's like, why are we doing this? Why are we hurting each other? You know? It's a question we should be asking ourselves overall on our whole planet, right? It's not just in-game. In-game is reflecting real life. It's the problem with our planet, but it's a game, guys. Let's figure out a way to get along. Let's stop all the BS. Civil War, the truth about it is it's bad. No matter how you attempt to paint it, it's bad. Civil War is a reflection of bad leadership. It really is. If you've got great leadership in your nation, if you got great leaders in your nation, you will not have civil war. You'll figure out a way to come use tools like Fiber, like Discord, use whatever tool works for you guys in your nation. Figure out a way to talk in-game, out-of-game, wherever you need to talk. Come together, figure it out, put your differences aside, freaking swallow some of your pride, swallow some of your ego, give a little so that you can get a little, and figure out how do we come together as a nation to unite so that we can be our best and to build a nation that is united and that are capable of representing their freaking full potential and really just going out and cross-nation events, putting all on the line against other nations that are doing the same. How can we achieve that? That's exciting to me. Nation building is exciting. When everyone's on the same page, it can be a beautiful and exciting and super fun thing. So figure it out. Forgive, forget, move on. It's a game. Let everyone enjoy the game. Also, let people enjoy the game. Like, oh my gosh, there's some nations. For example, one particular nation. Again, I'm not saying no nations, all right, but one nation I've played in. Dude, you're like, literally, you've got people, I've watched it. There's people, these like players in the back of the nation, and they're attempting to still grow, even though, you know, there's been some rules made where like, oh, if you're this, you can't do this. And if you're that, you can't do that. Meanwhile, these people are still attempting to play the game, right? And for the various reasons I said earlier, people have different time zones. People have different amount of time they can put into the game. People have different commitments, different this, different that. There's reasons why they may be playing where they're playing, how they're playing, right? There's a method to the madness, right? So I don't understand why are you worried about this little freaking C22 or something, C24, 25, these little people who aren't really adding that much to the nation's battle power, because you probably have already burnt them anyways, repeatedly every day. They can't grow. And yet you just sit there and you loot them every day and you're completely just destroying these people when you don't need the resources, especially older nations. You don't need that freaking stupid city in the outskirts that's freaking little bit of wheat and oil and steel that they've managed to build. Like, let them continue to attempt to grow. You'd be surprised. Some of those players are the ones that can actually become an asset to your nation. And yes, some of them are farmers. Again, I will be the first to say some of them you are going to want to burn from time to time. But ask yourself, are they really, really, really hurting the nation that much that you can't just let them enjoy the game too, right? Especially, again, there's people who do spend money on this game, and they do attempt to play the game and be part of the whole nation and the whole situation. And why aren't you attempting to find a way to work with them? If you find a way, again, it comes down to leadership. Maybe if you take the time to talk to them and, again, explain the game to them and say, hey guys, look, I see you out here, but let me explain to you why you should be in a top alliance. Let me show you the benefits. Let me tell you, because I tell you, a lot of those players back there, they don't know the game. They don't understand. They never learned it. And so they think they're just doing their thing back there, just playing the game their way, because that's the only way they know how to play. And they don't know how to actually play the game because they was never taught. And so they just end up back there just thinking they know what they know because they've just had to kind of learn and figure out some stuff themselves. And they're just happy in their own little world because they don't know better. They don't know anything else other than that. So take the time to show them. Go and spend some time with those players and see if you can reach out to them and say, hey, look, if you come over to our academy, which, again, that's another story, because academies tend to have a lot of farmers. That's another story for another day. Look, I said I am not without sin, okay? I have felt like wanting and have burnt some farmers in my time of playing this game. I've been playing for a few years. Yes, I have burned some farmers. But, right. What's this saying? Do as I say, not as I do. Anyways, but no, seriously, you have to just reach out. Talk to some of these players. See if you can figure out a way to help encourage them to become part of the system, right? Give them some incentives. Say, hey, look, if you come over, I'll help you get to C30. I'll help you get to C33, C34. I'll help you learn the game. I'll help you get some cool items and rewards, Like, figure out a way to make them feel inclusive, right? It's really a lot of them just never got the opportunity. They came, they joined the game. You guys know it, right? Who've been playing the game. So you've been playing the game. You join a new nation. You know nothing about nothing. Next thing you know, you've just joined the only alliance you could because all the other ones were like approval needed and you didn't get approved. So you end up in alliance ranked number 45. And you end up in this alliance and you're like, oh, wow. And nobody's talking because it's alliance ranked number 45. So no one there even knows how to play the game. So no one's talking. So everyone's just kind of there. And you're just like, okay, I guess this is what you do, huh? And next thing you know, you're a farmer. It happens. So yeah, be understanding to people. Give them benefit of the doubt. I'll tell you my little interesting story. When I first started playing the game, somehow I had only been playing for a short time, and next thing you know, I'm the freaking leader of an alliance, dude. How did that happen? I don't even know. I'm like, what? Why am I leading these people? I don't even know the game. I got thrown into the deep end quick. I had to learn the game quick. I had to be like, okay, time to freaking figure it out, dude. And look, here's the thing. Now, for all you new players, if you happen to be watching this video, guys, be a little proactive, okay? There's tons of information out there how to play the game. YouTube, Google, freaking Reddit. There's so much information out there. There's dedicated websites, AOZ codes, there's a bunch of sites out there. There's a bunch of information. There's Discord and freaking tons of videos. YouTubers, hey, I'm one of them. Freaking Woody. There's so many people out there with YouTube channels making content, explaining the game. Some legends of the game who are not even playing the game anymore, but their information is still online on YouTube that you can watch their videos and figure it out, right? Some great people. We've had some great people. Lumberg, freaking oh man, there's someone in particular I'm thinking, because I remember some of these people when I first started playing the game, and there's one person in particular, and he made tons of videos, and then he left the game, which was very sad, because he was one of those kind of players that you liked watching his videos. They were informative. That's what you want. My point is, though, is that the information is out there. Be proactive. You can find it on your own. You don't really need to wait for anyone to hold your hand. And you can find out everything you need to know, thanks to AI now, too. AI is a tool that works. You can AI the game about the game. Any question you have, AI scours the entire internet, will find the information for you and let you know. I've tested it myself. I've asked AI Age of Origin questions, see what would happen. Guess what? AI freaking is quicker at finding the information that you would have to spend time searching for. So use it, dude. That's my tip. Actually, I should make a whole video on that, because I bet a lot of people don't know that you can use AI like that these days. Anywho, I hope you learned something from this video. I hope you were entertained at the very least. Maybe you might make you think a little, hey, you know what? Maybe I don't need to keep killing off my whole nation. Maybe I can show a little love and figure out a way to put all my differences aside and come together. Because at the end of the day, we're all people wanting to have a good time, escape from the real world, right, guys? A lot of us play this game as an escape from the craziness, the madness, the pressures, the stresses, the whatever that's going on in real life. We escape to video games, right? We play games to get us away and to just find a little bit of happiness and fun from all of that. And when you start playing a game and it's actually becoming more stressful than real life, when it starts becoming more stressful than fun, when it starts becoming more like a burden than something you look forward to doing, when it starts becoming like a job, a task, where it's not, gosh, I can't believe I've got to freaking do this, and you're dreading because you got to blah, 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 or you got to deal with blah, 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 blah. One of the worst positions ever, diplomat. I've done it. It's just freaking... Again, if you don't have leaders that are willing to talk and are willing to give a little, are willing to put their egos and stuff aside, diplomat crap doesn't work. It just is a waste of time. It's stressful. And you're just like, what am I even doing? So that's the reality. That's my opinion. Let me know your opinions. Feel free in the comments. I can make a follow-up video about this, but I think a lot of people agree with me that civil war is just ultimately a waste of time, and there's better ways to go about. Because the only argument I've ever heard anyone say is, oh, we'll get rid of the farmers, or, oh, I'll lower the nation's BP. That's a positive from it. And it's like, yeah, but you might have achieved that, but you also lowered the BP because people left. And every freaking week, there is tons of new nations constantly opening in the game. And so every new nation that opens, those new people who come to the game, that's where they're going. They're not going to your nation, dude. Your nation won't even show up after the first couple weeks. The first couple weeks, it'll show up, the first week or two, your nation might show up, and then it won't show up because they've moved on. So whatever nation you're in, nation 500, nation freaking 736, freaking, wherever you are, 921, wherever you are, it doesn't matter. I'm just calling random numbers, but whatever nation you're in, that's all you've got. You're not going to get more people. Now, some nations, obviously you can recruit some people to come, right? You might be able to, if you have a great nation. People might want to come and join your nation. You might be able to recruit some people. You might be able to. And that happened to me. I was poached to an awesome nation. 1090 poached me. They're big, strong, freaking one of the strongest players in the globe, approached me and managed to, be like, hey, if you come, this is what we'll do. And come and see what it's like. And I'm glad I did, because peaceful, awesome, incredible nation. Everyone's working together. Everyone is freaking, attempting to achieve greatness, and their leaders are doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're leading the nation without it becoming this, big crazy civil war thing where it just causes people to leave the game. So, but anyways, there are nations who do manage to recruit people. But my point I'm making is, generally speaking, what you see is what you get, right? Most nations, they are not going to be able to approach anyone to come to their nation. I can tell you right now, if you got a civil war nation, nobody wants to come and join your nation. You're not going to attract people from other nations to come to your civil war nation. No one wants to come. No one. 0 people want to be there. The people you have there aren't even wanting to be there, and they won't be there if you continue doing that. They will leave. So you're not achieving anything great when you have a continuous war that's going on for months and months and months and months, turning to years. You think that you've achieved something great. How much battle power do you actually need to lose if you're fighting for months and months and months and years? No one has any troops left. It doesn't even make sense. No one has any troops left. What, are you hoping to lower the battle power to 100? Newsflash, it is impossible, first of all, to play the game without any troops whatsoever. What are you attempting to achieve here? People can't build anything. You've destroyed all the farms. They got no freaking resources. They got no freaking troops. They can't do anything. You can't, even if you was someone who's going to buy resources, you're like, hey, I'll buy some from somebody who, good luck finding someone who has some resources around, but sure, okay. You manage to find someone who's selling resources, you get some resources. Good luck attempting to loot that freaking city, that farm, to get those resources that you've paid for or whatever, or that you've managed to have farms that haven't been hit yet. Good luck looting them during the Civil War. Good luck. See if that works well for you. Good luck with that. Might work for you. Might get lucky if you time it right. I've had a couple lucky moments where I was able to do it, but yeah, it's stressful. You're stressing the whole time. It's not fun, man. It's not fun. So yeah, it's a crazy argument. Literally the only argument I've ever heard, people attempting to say that's the pro. That's it. Hey, we're going to lower nation's BP, man. It's going to be great. We're going to be matched up better because our BP is so low. Dude, how much lowering we got to do? It's months and months and months of this. It's going on years. Or in some nations, it's been years. What are we doing here, guys? That's madness. And they go, oh, we get rid of all the farmers. Dude, the farmers done left. The only people you've got left now in the game when you've had Civil War going for a long time is people who are just putting up with it, hoping that their investment that they've made isn't completely wasted, and they just having a hard time walking away from the money they've spent. If they hadn't spent any money, those people are long gone. The people who have not felt like they've put a lot of time or effort or sweat, blood, money, if they don't feel they've invested that much in a nation, they're gone. They've gone on to better pastures. They've gone on to green pastures. They have not just sat around. So whatever you think you're achieving by continuing drawing out a war, and you're like, and I get it. Sometimes you're like, well, we have to keep this war going because we need to get rid of the problem. And unfortunately, unmovable objects, sometimes that goal will just never be achieved because unfortunately, some people are very stubborn and they're stuck in their ways and they refuse to give up, and they've got the means to keep on fighting forever and they will never stop. So you're just beating a dead horse at that stage because it's like, dude, and the people who enjoy the war is usually the small, minute people who are happy to keep fighting for 2 years, for 3 years, whatever. Meanwhile, the rest of the nation is suffering from it and they're not enjoying it and they're not having a good time and they're about to quit the game. So anything that you think is a benefit of a civil war, I promise you that the little few things that you might see as a check mark, it's nothing compared to the benefits of not having a civil war at all. Having great leadership, coming together, talking your issues through, finding a way to find the common ground, the common good, to work together, to build the nation up. That's the way to do it. That's the way to grow your nation. That's the way to solve your issues. That's the way to play the game so that this game keeps on going and everyone doesn't leave the game and quit it, and then the game just becomes nothingness. Because that's what you're going to have. And I've actually been in a nation before where it was a dead nation, and that is horrible. It's a horrible feeling. I mean, it's like a ghost town, dude. It's just, ew, right? And you've seen them. They're the nations that end up getting merged, and it's just actually, again, you get one of those nations merged, you're like, oh gosh, we've got nothing from this merge. It's just not helped us at all. It's a story for another day. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you've enjoyed this. And again, this is just my opinions, but my opinions are based on my experiences, and my experiences are very real to me because it's what I've gone through in various worlds, various nations, in various civil wars. I've been in more than one. I've been in a few different ones. I've managed to find all the civil war nations. It's incredible. It is incredible. And they've all started out the same way. It's usually at the top, the strongest people can't get along. Dude, it's a game. Stop taking it so serious. Let's get along. Let's have some fun. And let's let everyone have the opportunity to enjoy the game. Right? Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. As always, remember to wonderful is keep it off tap. Off tap. Out.
We gotta get out of here! I'll catch you guys later for another vlog!